Hello everyone, and today I want to teach you something about layout design. And actually, layout design is the most important thing in our website because when you contact with the website, and I think the first thing you will notice their interface of this site. Okay, so if today this interface is really good and really excellent, I think this site will hold your attention. Okay, and if they hold your attention, and maybe you will start to browse some information on this site, and they can get some things they want. So if today you can create a pretty website, so I think that will help you to earn so many benefits from this. Okay. And actually, in previous course, we already know what's the basic of CSS. And in today, I will start to teach you how to use CSS to control your HTML. And based on your CSS technique, and you will understand how to place your layout in a specific position. So in today's, the first thing I will talk about the CSS layout, and actually I will introduce you three approaches to place your website, and the three things including float, and the flexbox, and positioning. And actually, float is a really easy thing. Can help you place the pictures in your left hand side or right hand side, or just in the central part. And the flexbox is things can help you to create a responsive web design. And you know, responsive web design is really critical in nowadays because we want to make sure today I create a website and that can easier for to read for no matter today you are a cell phone users or you are a computer users or you just use your tablet, and we just want to make sure all the thing is user friendly and easily to browse any information on your site. So Flagbox plays a critical role in nowadays. Okay, and the third thing is about positioning. Okay, this is an old approach, but I still teach you something about it. And the second thing is CSS element. Okay, in CSS element, there has so many elements in CSS. But actually, I want to talk something still about our layout, something just related to our layout element. Okay, and for example, today I will show you the difference between display and the visibility. These two kinds of things is really similar, but actually there still have some difference between them. And the second one is I want to explain how to create your navigations on your site. And in navigations, we will use the list tags. Do you remember what is list tag? Actually, in list tag, that can divide into two parts, and one is unordered list. Okay, the other is ordered list. So one is UL, and the other is OL, and we will use LI to create our list. Okay. And based on this, we want to make sure this list tag can combine with hyperlink. Because if we combine these two things, and we can create a menu. Okay, so this is about today's lecture. So in first one is CSS layout. So let's just start it. The first thing we want to ask you is how to lay out your website. So maybe before you create your website, you already use maybe Figma or Adobe XD to draw a pictures about your site to make sure that all your imagination is down to your paper. So you can follow this paper to lay out it. And how to lay out it? We need to use CSS to lay out it. And then you will start to know there has a difference between your layout, your SketchUp, and your CSS coding because there still has some limitation. And by the way, I think browser is also critical things in your development process because we needed to care all the most of browsers because browser is really critical in the process of users to browse a website. Okay, so I think the first thing I want to introduce to you is float, and actually you can see these pictures in our left-hand side. There has one picture, one paragraph, one picture, one layout, and all these elements is just like a division. Division is block label element. Block label element is just like they don't want to share their space. They don't want to share their space to the other people. So even today, they just use 50% of the white. They don't want to share their another 50% to the other persons. Okay, so we needed to use float to tell this guy, oh please float left, and the other space you can share with the other people. So we can make sure the other words can in our right hand side. Okay, and in here if we told to this box, second box to float right. So in his left hand side, this box left hand side, and there has some space, can press our text, our paragraph on there. Okay, so that is float. Okay, I think that is a really easy concept. So if today we want to create a two-column layout, and then we can see there has a left layout, left column, and here is a right column, and how to press them. Okay, I think here has thing is we needed to create a folder for them. They are just like a two brother, okay, and they have a main. So they need the main position or the main space will divide into include their sums. Okay, it's sums like left columns and the right column. Okay, so today main is father, aside and article are two brother. Okay, they needed to share the space with each other. So let's start to use HTML to create this. Okay, so now I needed to save a file first. I can create a flow.html. Okay, and I will use HTML5 and with tab key. So I can see this. And I just told you we needed to have a folder first. So it's our main. And then in main, actually, is we needed to have an opening for main and a closing for main. And then inside, we will have the big brother is a site in left hand side. Okay, and the other thing is article. Okay, you need to make sure these two brothers is in their father's space. Okay, because this father including these two brothers. Okay, so just in here. So now we will use CSS to press them. Okay, so I think the first thing is we need to create a main. Maybe I will assign a white for this main, this folder. Oh, today you have 100% white, so you can control all the things. Okay, and then later I will choose a site and an article to have their class, like a site. Okay, you can have 30% because the size is left column and that's smaller. Okay, and I will use the color to help you identify which part is a site and which part is article. I can say, oh, your background. Okay, and the other is article, and here is 70%, and I can set up the background is red. Okay, let's see this. Okay, I can't see anything. What happened now? It's because we needed to assign the height for a site and article. So I can assign the height, maybe it's 500 pixels. But actually, we will not use percentage to assign for height because we only use percent in our white. And if today you want to assign the height to any divisions, and I think you needed to give it a specific things like pixel, okay? Because you needed to tell them how long about how long do you want to give them, okay? Because if today we create a website and we will see some scroll box in our right hand side like this, so we will know we can understand what's the total length of a website. So we will not use a percentage to any division. And the white is just a fixed things. So we can know here from left to right, and there is 100%. So in white we can use percentage, but in height we can't use percentage. Okay. So we needed to give a specific height. So now I give a specific height. It's just like that. Okay. You can see this 30%, and here is 70%. And what happened? They don't share the other specs to each other. Okay. So now I need to use a float. The first one is float left. The second one is float right. Okay. So just like this. So you can see here, if today I change the browsers and the blue box and the red box, they can change their white automatically because today we just use percentage. So they will evaluate how many white is 30% of their total white. Okay. And if today I want to make sure I have two rows. The first row the first row is first man, and the second row is second man. Okay, and can I see this? Okay, I can't because the two men they are too close. Okay, so maybe we needed to set up some space for them. Okay, so I can maybe use margin. If I use margin, it's just like I leave some space to my neighborhood. Is if I use here 5 pixels, and I will leave 5 pixels space to between me and my neighborhood. So it's from top, right, and bottom and the left hand side. All is 5 pixels space. Okay. So if today I just want to make sure I have some space between me and my top neighborhood, I just set up margin top. Okay. So I will see here, nothing happened. What happened? Why is that? Because we already set up the margin top, but there still have nothing on here. It's because we only set up a position element. It flows for our aside and our article. So maybe we can set up a float and other positioning element for men. Okay. So because we needed to assign each divisions knows their position, their specific position. Aside know their position, article know their position, but our men, they don't know their actual position. So we will use a float left, and we will have some space in here. Okay. Because if today you want to say, oh, today you needed to set up some place or some space to your neighborhood, but you needed to tell the other people your initial position. There is the first step. So we needed to set up the float left. Okay, but when we set up, we already set up this. We already set up this, and we can know there has a extent 5 pixel in here because here is a main one, there 5 pixel, and here is a main 2, their margin top 5 pixel. Okay, but we just want to make sure they have 5 pixel, but we don't want to extend this space. Okay, we want to there is just maintain the original specs. Okay, so how to do it? If today you just want to segment to do this, and so we can't use margin top 5 pixel in here, because if I set up margin top 5 pixel in main, and all the main will follow this rule. So the first things I can use in inline CSS line style margin top 5 pixel. Okay, so here is a bit closer, and here it still has 1 pixel, 5 pixel in their margin top. But I told you maybe we don't need. I will not suggest you to use inline CSS, because if we use too many inline CSS, and when you're coding rows, it becomes more and more, it becomes larger, and I think they will be difficult to understand where has the inline CSS. So I will recommend you to assign an ID for your first man and your second man. So I will assign the first ID is man1, and the second ID is man2. So today I only need to assign man2 a margin top. So I will still have the same status. Okay. So now you already know we needed to use the ID name or the class name or the tag name to assign them to conduct a specific thing. Okay, so maybe not just use your tag name. You also needed to study how to use ID and use class to help you to assign the specific information to all these elements. Okay. And you can follow this. I think it's just like this is just the other approach. Okay, all these things is so similar, so you can try to use it. And I think there still has one thing is white. 80% I use margin auto, so you can see here. If today I can use many is 80%. And I can use margin 0 auto. Okay, this can become this. Margin 0 auto is that if today I say there is a 5 pixel, margin is 5 pixel, I just give a numbers in here, only a number in here like this. So this will assign their top, right, button, and the left is 0. Okay, if I give this, and the first number is for top and bottom, so their top and bottom is 0, and their right and left is auto. And if today I say my left and my right is auto, and this means it's just centrally. Okay, press me in central press. Okay, so I will use margin 0 auto. So you will see the left hand side is 10% and the right hand side is 10%. Okay, and here is 80%. Okay. Okay, and now here is your assignment. So please embed 2 pictures in an article. Okay, maybe in an articles, and we have this 2 paragraph on right hand side and 1 picture in left hand side. And in here we have 2 paragraph in left hand side and 1 picture in right hand side. And how to create put an articles layout like this. Please try to create your web page, and please just submit your code to Zuvio. Okay, in Zuvio I will create an assignment 5-1, and you need to submit your assignment to there before our next course. Okay. So margin 0 auto, you can center in the things. Okay. I think I just pause a few minutes. Hello, and now you can see here, you can log into our Zuvio, and you will see a new assignment, and please embed 2 pictures in an article. Okay, you can choose any article and just try to embed 2 pictures in your article, and that is okay. Okay, no matter today you use English article or Chinese article, all is okay. And please just show me your code. Okay, and just submit your image. Okay, and now let's move on. The next part is clearing float. Maybe today you have one is left hand side, and maybe today one is left hand side and the other is float right, and you want to create the other divisions, and you will use clear both to clear the other things. Okay, and I think that is okay. Okay, you just try to use float left and float right. This is typo. Okay, flow left, flow right, and clear both. Okay, sometimes you will see some things is maybe the first divisions, the height is different from division 2, and you will need to use clear both in division 3. Okay, this can help you solve the problem. Okay, if you don't show any problems in your website, and you don't need to use clear both. Okay, and wait me a moment. Okay, now I will talk something about margin, padding, and border. And margin, padding, and border, this is really critical. Okay, and I think there is things. If today we set up a white is your contents white. You know, in so many divisions, and we will set up a white and a height. It's just your content white and the content height. And actually, sometimes you will still use padding. Padding will also be recognize a part of yourself, a part of yourself. Okay, but you will see no things. Okay, so if today you have 50 is your white and your padding is 10 pixel, and today the other people will see here has a space is 10 pixel in left and 5 pixel in your context Y and 10 pixel in your right. Okay, and there will have the 70 pixels false your total white. Okay, even they just see your content is 50 pixel, but they still have 20 pixels. It's yours. It's one part of yourself. Okay, and not only the padding, border will also be recognized one part of yourself. So if today your content is 50 pixel and your padding is 10 pixel and your border is 10 pixel, and how many is your white, your total white, your actual white? Okay, it's like maybe padding you have left 10 pixel and the right is 10 pixel, so it's 20. So border is also at 20. So is your content white is 50 pixel and 20 pixel padding and 20 pixel border. So totally there has 90 pixel is yours. Okay, so you will see there has a column is about blue. All the blue is about yours. Okay, so there will be really hard to you to assign some space for yourself. Okay, and if today you and others neighborhoods space, and we will call margin. Okay, margin is not yours. Margin is others. Okay, so this is margin and border padding contents. This is their difference. Okay, for example, if today you have a wide and height is 300 pixel, just like left hand side, and we create a border. We create a border is 20 pixel. So we will add a top border is 20 pixel, right border 20 pixel, bottom border 20 pixel, left border 20 pixel. So we will see they will become 300 become 340 and 300 become 340. So it will become larger. Okay, there will emerge a larger box. And here is padding. What's about padding? Padding about if today you just set up a padding tab 20 pixel, you will see here has creates a new space. It's 20 pixel in here, but you will see there is not your original shape. You will leave some space for empty, and your words will be pushed to here, will force to here, will force to leave a space for this 20 pixel. Okay, so that is padding top. That is padding. Okay, and today you can also use padding 20 pixel, and that will leave 20 pixel for left, 20 pixel for right, 20 pixel for left. So that is padding. Okay, so today if you want to not your you think your some words is to stick to your to your corner or to your line, and you just want to leave some space between the words, you can use padding. Okay, they will keep some space for your words and the other to your boundary. Okay, because sometimes our words is just to stick to the border, to our boundary. Okay, and here is margin. Border is becomes yourself, but padding is become yourself. Padding is become yourself, but margin is not yourself. It's other persons. We just set up a space between us. Okay, this space is not belong to me and not belong to you. Okay, we just want to set up a space between us. Okay, so that is margin, and here is padding. They are different. Okay, but if today I set up a thing is like this, one is in left hand side and the other is in right hand side, and let's see this. Okay, I just left one. Okay, And now I want to make sure there has a padding. Maybe just is a padding left 50 pixel. Okay, we will see what happened. If today I use 50 pixels in our padding left, and the article will force to the next row, right? And how to figure out it? How to figure out it? Now we are just the same with these standards. We will use box sizing for the box because traditionally their wide is content box. What is content box and what is border box? If today you are content box and our wide is refers to content wide, and if today we change the box sizing as border box, and we will see the wide is including border, padding, and content. Okay, so this is the difference between border box and the content box. And the initial statement, initial status is content box. So we needed to change content box to border box. And that can make sure our 30% is 30%. It will not become the 30% at 50 pixel. Okay, so we needed to set up this box sizing and is border box. Okay, let's see. Okay, we still have some space for here, and here becomes so small, right? Originally, percent. Okay. So now you will see if today I use border box and we just solve the problem. Okay. So this is a difference between content box and the border box. Okay. So traditionally, box sizing is content box, and now we need to change as border box. So we will really easily to add border, add padding in our division. Okay. And you can see here has the other thing is just like that. When we have a lot of block label elements, and they just controls all the space. Okay, maybe today you want to display block label elements in a line or in a row, and how to press it. Okay, and how to align the items next to each other. Yes, traditionally we can use float to do the same status. Okay, how to do it? I will show you. Maybe today this is an initial status. Okay, and I will create a main, and I can create 3 box. Okay, and here now is 3 box. Okay, and I can make sure here has 3 box, and I needed to call the class. Okay, I needed to point box. Okay, I will set up the white is 300 pixel and the edge 300 and the height for 300 pixel, and I can use float left. So you will see this. Oh, I don't see anything because we don't have the color. Maybe I can use the color is blue. And they are too close. So we will set up margin. Okay, I can create this. But that is too difficult. Okay, I needed to write down so many coding. I needed to coding too much. So is there has an easier way? Yes, we can use flexbox to do it, to achieve it. You can just use display flex and to finish all the thing. Display flex. Because flexbox is born for responsive web design, and this can help us to design flexible, responsive layout structure without using float or other positioning. So if today you can use Flexbox and you can solve a lot of problems. Okay. For example, today I want to create an article, and in article there is a three section. Okay. I just set up a display in article, just in the father. Article is father, and the three section is the three children. So I just told to the father, now display, please flex, please easily to press these three sections. Okay, so let's just try. This is one thing. Okay, maybe I just change. Oh, I just left them in here. And then the other thing is article, and I have a three section. So I can assign the article to give maybe just display flex, and I can assign section. The width is 300 pixel, and the margin is also maybe 5 pixel, and the background maybe is navy. Okay, let's see. I don't see anything. Article. Oh, I don't give them the moment. Maybe I needed to give the height. Okay, so now I have already see. Here is height is 50 pixel. Okay, so if I use the same, I can do the same thing. Okay, so we can use a different approach to do the same thing. And one is just use flex, and the other is use float. So you can choose which one you want to use. But now I am highly recommend you to use flex. Okay. And if today you want to make sure these three boxes in the central, you can just add a justify content center, and this can help with all the three children will align in the center of this article. Okay, and how to use it? Let's show you. Okay, I just cancel the main. I cancel the main and box. Okay, and now I just use justify. Oh, wait a moment. Maybe I need to give a background first. Conceal. Okay, so now we can see here, and we needed to justify content center. Okay, this will become the centers in the article. Okay, this is justify content. And actually, justify content is not only center. We still, the initial status is flex start. Okay, the start is just from the left to right. So if we talk about flex start, and this will in the left hand side. And if today we want to in the right hand side, so this is flex end. Okay, so flex start, center, flex end, and the space between and the space around, and you can choose anything you want. And actually, space between is just we just leave some space between us, okay? And if the space around is just any children, they have some space between their left hand and the right hand, okay? Just like left hand and right hand, they still has some space, left hand and right hand, left hand and right hand. And if you just use space between, just like, oh, there we just care the first children and the second children their space. So I will use space between. Okay, maybe let's just try it. I can use space between. Okay, so we will leave some space in here. Maybe I can give a long more wider. Okay, like this. Okay, and I can use space around. Okay, so you can see that if today you want to put a product to press like this way, it, it's okay. Okay, you can see in Yahoo or in here, you can put like here to 4 to 2. Okay, and we can see here has a 4 box, and all the thing is the same, and there has some margin between them. Okay, so now you can try to use flex to create a layout like this way. Okay, if you know how to use flexbox and you know how to use justify content, and I think you can create a layout like this. Okay, and actually we know if today we just use flex items and that are forced in a single line because all the thing will be put in one line, put in one row. But sometimes we want to have the second row or second line and how to make flexible items flow into multiple lines, how to create it. And actually we just need to set up the flex web. Flex web is we need to set up this flex web in their further article. Okay, that will become the two lines. Okay, let me just show you. I add one thing is flex web. Flex web is just the menu is you can force your element, force your box to in several lines. Okay, that will become the this will change to the next line. Okay, not put all the things in a one line. And I use web. Now I only have three, so we will not see the web. Okay, that will become here. This that is web. Okay, and now please just try to make a layout like these things. Okay, that is your assignment 2. Assignment 1, 2. And in this assignment, I want to see there has 4 boxes. And in each 4 box, there you will set up some margin between them. And I want to see 2 rows. The first row is 4 boxes, and the second row is 4 boxes. And each box, they have the part is their picture, and they have the part is the words, the text. Okay, so each box they have picture and words, picture and words, picture and words. Okay, so you need to use flags to finish this, and actually you need to take a screenshot with your code and your interface. Okay, it's just like you need to take a screenshot like this. Okay, I want to see this and your coding. Okay, you need to take a photo with these 2 things. One right hand side is your coding, left hand side is your screen, your website. Okay, and you also need to submit to Zuvio. Okay, that is your second assignment in this course. Okay. Okay, and I think I need to pause it. Okay, and now just please submit your assignment. Flex item in 2 rows. And you need to try your best to finish your layout like this. Yes, as similar as possible. Okay, you need to add a picture and words and submit to your Zubio. Okay, so that is your second assignment. Okay, let's move on. So, by the way, if I see some people's picture is all the same, and I think I will guess maybe you just use the same code to me, and that is not allowed. Okay, please finish this by yourself. Okay, not just share your answer. Or if today you want to share your answer, and please change the picture and the words. Okay, this is really easy to understand. Your assignment is completed by yourself or not. For example, I can try to see this, and I can know the everyone's answer. Okay, and if some answer is too similar, and I think I will ask you something. Okay, so please try to finish all the things by yourself. Okay, and how to display flexible items vertically? Because traditionally, all the flexible item is horizontal. Okay, and actually we still can make sure the flexible item is vertically displayed. Okay, so you just change the flexible direction as column, flexible direction, the column, and that is okay. Because initial state is status is flexible direction row, and you can change it to column. Okay, and you can change the direction of the flexible item. Okay, and now is CSS element. Okay, and in here, I want to talk some things about the display and the visibility. Okay, what's the difference between display and visibility? Is there Chinese has something different? Okay, I think these 2 words is really close and it's hard, it's difficult to understand what's the difference between them. I think you can know if today you use the display and we can set up a none, and the visibility we can set up a hidden. We can assign a hidden for their visibility. And actually, if today you say display none, and this means there will be no space allocated for each between the other elements. Okay. Both these two things we are not being visible. Okay. But one will allocate space for the element, but one will be no space. Okay. Display is no space, and hidden is just not visible. There is just still take up the same space as before. Okay. So if today we just set up visibility hidden, it just means we can see that, but there still has some space take up for the element. But if today we see the display is none, and there will not be space allocated for it between other elements. So that is these two things difference. This is a difference between these two things. Okay. And actually, if today you want to use displays, and we will have something is block, inline, none. So traditionally, all the division and all the article section, that is block element. That is just the initial state is display block. Okay. And if today you use span, their initial state is display inline. Okay. And today, if you want to hide an element, you will use none. Okay, I want to ask, when we will use display as none? When we will use display as none? Okay. Actually, when we use menu, and when our cursor just move over to a specific menu, and there will have a drop menu. There has the drop menu. Okay, we'll drop down the sub menu, and the sub menu actually just use display none. And when we mouse over, that is display block. And when we mouse out, that is display none. And in next course, I will show you how to use JavaScript to create a drop-down menu. How to use JavaScript to create this. Okay. And please, if I just forget it, please just talk to me. I needed to teach you how to create a drop-down menu with JavaScript. Okay, so that is display. And the other thing is a list and hyperlink. What's list and hyperlink, and why we need to combine these two things in together? Okay, and I think the first thing is hyperlink, because in our hyperlink, and there has so many status. The first thing is traditionally the original status. And later is hover, is just our mouse over, and this is hover. Okay, hover is generally triggered when the user hovers over an element with cursor. Just our cursor moves to a specific position, and they will trigger to change something. And active is generally triggered when the user click on them, just at that moment when we click on them. And listed is if you already click this link, and the status will change to the color yellow. Okay. So I can try to use these hints. Okay. Hyper HTML. Okay. And now I needed to use a hyperlink, and I can use this to account.tw. Okay, and I will say this is Yahoo. Okay. here is Taiwan Tech. Okay, and actually in the hyperlink, we needed to set up a tag, and we needed to set up href for your link, and some things behind the opening tag and closing tag is your word can emerge in your site. Okay, let's see. Here we can see two links. Okay, so now please try to use your, oh, we needed to set up style, okay, to make sure all the CSS code is in here. And the first one is A. We can set up the color or red. Okay, let's become red. Okay. And I can use text decoration. No? Because if today we use hyperlink and there will have the underlines behind the words. So if today I use text decorations and I can cancel the underline. Okay. And I can use hover and the color become maybe blue. That is hover. And visit it, and I can change it to yellow. Okay, because we will not always use visit. Okay, because I already click it, so that is already visited. So that will change to yellow. But yellow is not easy to see, so maybe I can use green. Okay. And the other thing is active. Okay, I can set up for green. Okay, when I click down, and the color will change to green. So that is active. So that is the difference between the traditional hyperlink and the hover status, visited status, and the active status. Okay, I think you need to try to use all these things, all these status, because you need to use these maybe in your assignments or your project. Okay, and later the other thing is how to make a list a hyperlink. And actually in our list, it's just like this, and we will have a navigation. So in nav section, and we will have a ULLI. It's just like our list type. And in our list, we needed to set up all the list with hyperlink. So we needed to embed a tag in here. Okay. So we just needed to click like create things like this, nav, okay, and the URL, li23, and I just put the things in here. Okay. I just use this support. So we will see like this. But that is just like a list. That is not the things we want. So you needed to change the list. Okay? We just make sure the LI, the display, will become inline. Okay? So that will make sure all the things in a line. Okay, so you needed to set up LI display inline, and you can finish this. Because display inline is just an inline element does not start on a new line. If today we not set up, they just will start a new lines and a new line, so there will many lines. and they will not like the menu. Okay, so we just use display in line, and we can finish a menu just like this. Okay, so now we just finish. Okay, and this is today's course. Okay, and please finish the 2 assignments, and see you next week. Bye bye.